BLITE മറ്റൊരു എപ്പിസോഡിലേക്ക് ഹൃദയം നിറഞ്ഞ സ്വാഗതം. ആകയാൽ തിന്നാലും കുടിച്ചാലും എന്തു ചെയ്താലും എല്ലാം ദൈവത്തിന്റെ മഹത്വത്തിനായി ചെയ്യുവിൻ. കൊരിന്ത്യർക്ക് എഴുതിയ കത്തിൽ പൗലോസ്ലീഹ ഇങ്ങനെ കുറിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നു: ദൈവത്തിന്റെ മഹത്വം അന്വേഷിക്കുന്നവൻ തന്റെ സഹജീവികളോടും പ്രതിബദ്ധ ഉള്ളവനായിരിക്കും. ദൈവമഹത്വം അന്വേഷിക്കുന്നവൻ സ്വന്തം ഗുണമല്ല, മറ്റുള്ളവന്റെ ഗുണവും അന്വേഷിക്കും. ദൈവത്തിനായി പ്രവർത്തിക്കുന്നവൻ തന്റെ ആരോഗ്യരീതിയിലും ശ്രദ്ധാലുവായിരിക്കണം. ആരോഗ്യമില്ലാത്ത ജീവിതം കൊണ്ട് നമുക്ക് മാത്രമല്ല, നമ്മെ ചുറ്റിപ്പറ്റി നിൽക്കുന്നവർക്കും നാം ബാധ്യതയായി തീരുവാൻ സാധ്യതയേറെയാണ്. ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു വരുന്നത് ദൈവം അനുവദിച്ചിട്ടുള്ള അനാരോഗ്യത്തിന്റെ കാര്യമല്ല, മറിച്ച് നമ്മുടെ ശ്രദ്ധയില്ലായ്മ മൂലമുള്ള അനാരോഗ്യത്തിന്റെ കാര്യമാണ്. ശരിയായ രീതിയിലുള്ള ഭക്ഷണ രീതിയെക്കുറിച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞ ചില ആഴ്ചകളായി നമ്മോട് വിവരിച്ചു കൊണ്ടിരുന്നത് MFGC ഷാർജ സഭാംഗം ബ്രദർ അനിലാണ്. അതിന്റെ തുടർച്ച ഇന്ന് നമുക്ക് ശ്രദ്ധിക്കാം. വെൽക്കം ടു BLITE.
Praise be to God. Welcome back for another session. I hope you enjoyed the last session. This time we want to discuss about why we eat. In the Bible, we see in Luke 17, it says, like in the days of Noah, people these days are giving in marriage, eating and partying until the time the ark door closed. So why do we eat these days? We are not eating for sustenance, surely. Not all of us are eating to satisfy our real biological need. It's more to do with taste, more to do with entertainment, more to do with satisfying cravings. So basically we are looking at factors which we can avoid actually. But yes, we are in this world, we need to eat. But if we are going to always look at taste and always eat while for entertainment, we have only one way to entertain guests, that is to feed them. And most of the time feed them with all unhealthy food. And we are always craving for something. This is why the snacking comes into place. When we snack on food, we have the thing of craving. We are now giving into our cravings. We do not have any control over ourselves. This is what happened during the olden days also. And people were destroyed. Today we are being destroyed brick by brick. We are being destroyed. It's not going to happen all of a sudden, but we are being destroyed. Now, one thing is for sure, whatever is appealing to the eye, whatever catches our eye, that's the one that we actually crave for. It's not the real healthy food that we crave for. We always crave for junk, and this is what happens. Very seldom do you see anyone taking fresh vegetables and eating as a snack. Most of the time it's chips laden with all the wrong things. So we must understand why we eat, why this habit of eating comes. Are we really hungry? Do we hunger? Now, if we hunger, what happens? Let's take a look. Whenever we are hungry, our blood actually has less sugar, and the sugar is taken from the liver and from the fat, as we have seen before. Now if we are eating 3 meals a day and we are eating the wrong food, we are taking a lot of starch or a lot of grains and all the things that have carbohydrates. These are being converted into energy, stored as glycogen in the liver, and the rest of it is actually stored as fat around the visceral area, in the visceral area and in the subcutaneous areas. Now we must understand that when we are having this on a regular basis, the buildup is so much that the body can do nothing about it. As we had seen earlier, only 10% of your constitution, the result that you have, is based on genetics, and 10% can be accounted for exercise. Now if you have 80% in nutrition, then we better be careful about what goes into the system, because what happens is there is a build-up of what is known as visceral fat in our systems. Visceral fat is the enemy. When there is a build-up of visceral fat, you have organs in the viscera. These organs have an inter-organ space. Visceral fat builds around these organs. As a result, all these organs are choked, their function is limited, and it puts a load on the heart, increasing your blood pressure. Now, when the visceral fat doesn't have any place, a little bit of it comes out. So if you have a small belly, a small little tummy, love handles, whatever you call it, you are actually in a zone of danger, because the visceral fat now has no space. It's finished, it's occupied most of the space in the viscera, and now it's pushing and coming out. So you will see in your abdomen, the back, at your back, your buttocks, all these things are the excess where the fat is stored. But if you take a cross section, as you can see in this thing, if you take a cross section of the body, you will see a lot of fat inside but this is very dangerous, because this can really affect us in a very, very bad way. We need to fight this on a war footing, otherwise it would consume us. It's as simple as that. The way to do that is only through intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is the way in which you can get rid of visceral fat. Now if you were to ask me what sort of diet you will follow, I will say that you must look at your body type and determine what is excess in you. Intermittent fasting. This is basically going on a long fast each day. Instead of eating 3 meals a day, you go for 2 meals a day, have a short window of eating. Let's say you eat your lunch and your dinner, and you have like a 12-hour or a 15-hour fast. Now that fast actually helps in getting rid of all the fat from around your waist, around your stomach, and even your visceral fat. Now just imagine, we are talking about something here where you can do, which you can do at home by just controlling your nutrition, your diet, and by going on a sensible way of eating. You are actually taking your health into your own hands. If you ask the doctors, they will tell you that you need to actually be on medication, and they will not tell you, most of the time they will not ask you to fast, because if they have to sell medicine, it has to be 3 times a day, or at least morning and evening. So they will say, have breakfast, have a good breakfast, and they will say, have a good dinner. Now your liver never works, and ultimately you will end up with a fatty liver. So to avoid that, I am asking, try it for a week, a month, and you will see for yourself what are the changes that are happening. Now I want to put a disclaimer here. If you are on medication already, if you have a condition already, please go and meet your doctor sensibly. Let us talk to him and tell him what you want to try. You want to go on intermittent fasting, and that would really help you. I want to remind us that 80% of who you are is on your nutrition. It is based on your nutrition. It's very little to do with genetics, very little to do with the exercise you do. Everything can be, it can be good, but if your nutrition is not good, there is no use. You have the wrong food, you eat junk food, Don't expect good results. You are what you eat. Now, let us see, when you do intermittent fasting, it is not easy to start with. You can start with the smaller windows. Like for example, if you're having a breakfast at say 7 in the morning, after having dinner at 9, you're having a 10-hour fast. Let's go to 12 hours, push that to 12 hours. So instead of 7, you have your breakfast at 9. One day you start off, the first day maybe you can have it at 9. The next day, try to push it to 10. That way, then after that you can slowly try and push it to 1 o'clock, lunchtime. When you get to lunchtime, you're really getting the liver to work. But if you can push that past the lunchtime, let's say for example, if you can get to 5 o'clock, say, fantastic. It means you're getting all your things out of your body, out of your liver. You're getting your liver to work, and you are getting the glucagon to come out and take all the sugar from your liver and take it into the blood. And then when you sleep that night, you're going to let the fat burn from your viscera, from your subcutaneous regions, from your hips, from your arms, from your breasts, wherever, and it's going to be converted as glycogen and stored in your liver for use the next day. Every day you're going to have a fantastic turnaround, and in a week's time, in a month's time, you will be a different person. You have not spent any money, you have not taken any medication, you have not done anything, you've just gone on a sensible diet. Tell me, is it so difficult? Can we try this? It's the temple of God. God created it with His hands. The attack is on the temple of God. The enemy wants to destroy it, and the enemy is very, very subtle. He's very, very smart. But we are smart people too. We have to show him that we know and that we can fight this battle. I'm asking you, please don't take any supplements. You take only fresh fruit. I'm not pushing any supplements here. I don't have a pop-up saying this is a pill and that is good for you. No, I'm asking you to go on a sensible diet. And it's easy. You can have your fruit in the beginning, then you can go and again you can then follow up with your proteins and vegetables. And this is as simple as that. Just remember one thing, you need to eat a very balanced diet. I told you, if you eat more of grains, if you eat more of starches, then you are adding to your sugar, which is your fat that is already there. So if you have too much fat, if you feel that you have too much fat in your body, the way to go is to cut out those grains and pulses totally from your diet. Go on just vegetables and protein. Have a lot of vegetables. In fact, you need to have around 7 cups of vegetables. So what do we eat? If you are slightly overweight, if you don't need so much carbs after having examined your body, if you want to reduce your weight, and I'm talking of reduction of about 3 to 5 kilos a month, guaranteed. If you want to really do this, I would suggest you have this. Go on an intermittent fast, try it out. You can break your fast by having one fruit, and by one fruit, I mean one fruit. You have one banana or an apple. Remember, an apple has around 19 to 30 grams of sugar depending on the type of apple. It is good sugar, but it's still sugar. Remember this. We don't want to exceed the sugar because our intention is to burn our fat and convert it to sugar. So if we exceed the sugar that we take in through the fruit, we have a problem. So don't go by this saying that fruit is not dangerous. Fruit is not dangerous, but if you want to solve your situation, then you have to limit the number of sugars that you take in. So one fruit will kickstart your cycle of insulin and get your cells ready. And then you can go with 7 to 9 cups of vegetables, and by cups I mean normal cups like this. 7 to 9 cups you need. Why do we need so much vegetables? Vegetables are a very rich source of potassium. Potassium is needed for proper sugar absorbance into the liver and into the tissues. Without potassium, the sugar doesn't bond. The sugar bond it's very important. Otherwise, the sugar is converted as fat and stored. So anybody who's lean and having excess fat, the problem is he's not taking enough potassium. And potassium is a very, very important mineral, because that is something that most of us actually avoid. Like I was telling in the last thing, we call ourselves vegetarian, but we hardly eat any vegetables, and potassium is the source of vegetables. So please do not skimp on vegetables. Have a lot of vegetables. The more vegetables you eat, the more healthy you become. So when you eat more potassium, 7 to 9 cups like this, 7 to 9 cups of potassium, if you are able to eat, you will have a proper absorption of the sugars that are in the fruit and also in the vegetables. Now remember, there are even sugars in the proteins you eat. Now once you have started on this, the proteins are then ready to be digested by the cells, absorbed by the cells, and you will get your proteins from meats. You can eat meats, you can eat eggs, up to even 3 to 4 eggs are okay. 3 or 4 eggs a day, whole eggs are fine. Meats, we need 50 to 55 grams of proteins required for a normal adult male. For women, it could be 5 grams or 10 grams less. So depending on that, you can control this. Even legumes and pulses have proteins, albeit lesser, they still have proteins. So you can just check out how much, but you need about 0.8 grams per kilo of body weight. The USDA, US Department of Agriculture, says you need about 0.8 grams, which is quite close to the thing. You will not, excess proteins will be converted as fat, converted and stored as fat. Just remember that. So there's no point in you going after all these excessive protein things, thinking you'll muscle up. You will never muscle up. You will need to muscle up only through gradual increase. So you must actually remember, the body will absorb only 0.8 grams of your body weight per kilo of proteins. So when you are on this, your vegetables and your fruit will also take care of your vitamins that you require. Remember, you require vitamins, and a lot of vitamins are there in vegetables, and in fruit you will get all that you need from this. This is a very simple diet, but just remember one thing, keep that window short. If you're going to eat your lunch at say 4 o'clock in the evening, then you try to have your dinner by 9 o'clock, so that you have a 5-hour window of eating, and then the whole time your body is resting. Remember one thing, the body requires energy to process food. Now when it is processing food that is just enough, it is good for the body. Now I'll give you an example. I want to actually clean this cup. Let's say I want to wash this cup. I need a glass of water to wash it. I can just wash it and dump the water somewhere. What if somebody brings me a bucket of water? Now I need to be very careful, because I need to use that bucket of the water. The water will run all over the place. I need to do extra work in cleaning up this place. So now I have not only, I've had trouble cleaning this cup, making it clean. Now I have to clean the whole place because I've used something in excess. So even food in excess in our body will result in the same thing. The body will have to work more to actually keep this food in control. You need to understand that the body has to now convert this food into adipose tissue, into glycogen, and store it. This takes work, and even burning back takes work. So remember, whenever you eat extra, you're actually asking the body to work more, which is actually going to result in higher blood pressure. You're going to ask the body to function in different ways. And what happens when the body is working here? External aggression you will fall victim to external aggression. By external aggression, I mean infections. If you are on a diet that is not called for, the body will actually work more in your stomach. All the blood will be around your stomach and doing its work. You have only 4.5 to 5 liters of blood in your body. So all the blood will be doing the work of actually transporting the thing and storing it as fat. So when an external aggression comes, your immunity is low. You will catch a cold very easily. But if you are having very little food and work to do in the body, and the body is and the system is free most of the time, whenever an infection comes, from outside, which is quite common, the body will fight the infection very efficiently. The body will stand up and fight. In fact, it will wait for an infection to come so that it can fight and make itself stronger. The body is fearfully and wonderfully made. Remember that. Understand that. Any external aggression, if you go on a sensible diet, you will not fall sick. You will lead a very healthy life. If you are having any allergy, if you are having, very often you catch a cold, if you are having a lot of phlegm coming out, your body is acidic, it is actually it is because of your diet. So please do understand, if you want to remain healthy, you have to practice eating healthy. Nutrition is important. Until we meet again, let us stay focused on our bodies. Let us worship the Lord with what He has made and for what He has made us. Hallelujah. Praise be to God.
BLITന്റെ മറ്റൊരു എപ്പിസോഡിൽ കാണുന്നവരെയും സർവശക്തൻ നമ്മെ ഓരോരുത്തരെയും തന്റെ ചിറകടിയിൽ സൂക്ഷിക്കുമാറാകട്ടെ. God bless you all.